Good day, viewers. Since 2 days ago that the Labour Party national chairman, Comrade Julius Abure, made a statement that he had an information or intelligence that APC are already on the top gear preparing for a run election. So the statement has sparked controversy and mixed reactions, and a lot of people, especially the youth, the obedience, and some of the PDP supporters have reacted to that statement. Some persons are saying, why should there be a rerun election when Mr. P2B won the election? Others are saying with the issues of certificate forgery and, things that are capable of disqualifying Bola Tinubu of the APC, why should there be a rerun election? So many people have reacted differently to this issue. But there are some things you should know if they are going to be rerun election. Before we go into that, I just want you to know that Comrade Julius Abure is not the judge handling the court proceedings. So it's not one of the judges, not the judge. He is just a party chairman who have to voice out the information he received or he heard. 2 months ago, I made a video when I was talking about APC indirectly will be preparing for a run election, because I know that with the evidence before the court, these people will never and can never survive this court case. So let us go straight to the point. If they are going to be a rerun election, what are the things you should know, or why should they be a rerun election? Well, as I said before, it is the decision of the judges. They have the final say, and whatever they decided in this court case, that is what is going to happen. That is democracy for you, and that is the power of a lordship in the court. The presiding judge, after they must have passed votes about the decision, they will just pronounce it, and it is going to be like that. Now, know this. Court of Appeal is the first court that has the appended jurisdiction to handle presidential election matters, presidential petition. So the case is not ending at the Court of Appeal. Definitely, when the court will pronounce judgment, there are going to be some parties that are not going to, believe or agree to the stance of the court. Some parties, will go to the Supreme Court. If, for example, that the court says, I declare Atiku Abubakar the winner of the election, I don't think Bola Tinubu will just rest, or the Labour Party will just rest. People will proceed to the Supreme Court to challenge the declaration. And also, if the court declares Mr. P2B of the Labour Party the winner of this election, some persons also, they are going to go to the Supreme Court, because they will not just agree and rest about the matter. Also, if the court uphold, which is not going to be possible, everybody knows, if court uphold the declaration of INEC that Bola Tinubu is the president-elect or president, the rightful winner of the election, let me put it in this way. Yes, PDP and Labour Party also might go to the Supreme Court to challenge the declaration. So it is important you understand that Court of Appeal is the first court that has the appended jurisdiction. So this case is not ending at the Court of Appeal. That is the first thing you need to know. Now, the second thing you should know about a rerun election, if there are going to be any, is that Bola Tinubu will never remain in that seat. That is what the law stipulates. He is not going to be there to conduct a rerun election. That means there will be an acting president in the capacity of the Senate president. So the Senate president will be acting as the president. Let me give you an example. This thing happens in my state. I came from Delta State. There was a time one DPP, if I'm not mistaken, is it the Labour Party, Mr. Oveje Ogboru. So after the gubernatorial election, they declared PDP Governor Emmanuel Udwana as the winner of the election. That is what the INEC did. But Ogboru now approached the court. After some time, I think the Court of Appeal now said no, that this election should be nullified. When that happens, they dissolve everything about the executive. The governor have to leave the seat. Now, the Speaker of the House of Assembly then was the late Prince Sam Obi, Right Honorable Prince Sam Obi. So Sam Obi now have to become the acting governor of Delta State. They now conduct a new election. So If the court now declare the election cancelled or null and void, the Senate president is going to become the acting president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Why they would dissolve everything about the executive? Because they will assume that election has not been conducted, presidential election has not been conducted as far as the court declaration is concerned. So that is what you are going to have in mind, because a lot of people are jethering. They are saying, no, we don't trust APC, we don't trust Bola Tinubu, that if they are going to be a rerun election and Tinubu is still going to be in that seat, that he's not going to favor us. And that is the truth. But you have to understand that if they are going to be a rerun election, Bola Tinubu will not be on that seat. So another person will be there to conduct the rerun election in the person of Mr. Godswill Akpabio, the Senate president. Now, let us talk about the INEC chairman. If they are going to be a rerun election, Nigerians are going to oppose Professor Mahmood to conduct this election. And people will understand their position. That is the honest truth. We are not going to agree for Professor Yakubu Mahmood to conduct that new election if they are going to be election. Because we have seen the flaws in this past election. And he is not remorseful. He's not even showing that, oh, this is what the whole country, almost the whole country are saying. 80% of Nigerians are saying that this election is not free and fair. Now, you are not showing them. I know that INEC have started review, but it's a statutory something they do after every election. So they are not doing it because the election, people are complaining or the election is good or bad. So it is what INEC normally does every time they finish an election. So they have started reviewing the presidential election and other elections, what really transpired. So if they are going to be a second election, Professor Yakubu Mahmood will not be on that seat. So this is very important that you should have in mind. So let us go to the third one. People are saying, why should Bola Tinubu be part of the rerun election? As I said earlier, we are not the judge of the court. We are not the judges. So we should allow the court to pronounce whatever they want to pronounce. So I believe that one of the main prayers that the Labour Party brought to the court is that P2B won the election. And according to them, they have proved it to the court through the numbers of votes and how P2B was rigged out in favor of Bola Tinubu. If they will be able to convince the judges that these our claims, look at the evidence, we are correct about this fact. So there is no doubt about that. P2B could be declared as the president. But know that P2B is not challenging Atiku Abubakar. This is also a situation people need to understand. P2B is not challenging the PDP, and the PDP is not challenging P2B. So, if P2B is not challenging PDP, what does that mean? If they did not declare Bola Tinubu as the president, the second position in that election, even though the election was rigged as claimed by almost all the whole parties apart from APC. So if they did not declare Bola Tinubu, what happens to the second position? That is where the issues of rigging, if P2B could claim that yes, all these votes are supposed to be mine, this is how they rigged the election, this is the case of overvoting, these results were not, maybe it's supposed to belong to me, and so on and so forth. That is where the issue of 25% Abuja will come in, that, oh, this man did not win 25%, I won it, and with all these votes, I'm supposed to be declared as the president, Federal Republic of Nigeria. All these things will be considered. But all these things will be difficult since P2B is not challenging the PDP. So that is why a lot of people are looking at this election could just be nullified and a new election will be conducted. Now, the last thing I want to explain to you is that it is categorically stated in P2B's petition that court should declare him president. But if the court did not declare him president, that they should conduct a rerun election in which the APC and Bola Tinubu will never participate in that rerun. It is very clear. Declare me the president, I won. These are my evidence. And if you did not declare me president, there should be a rerun in which Bola Tinubu will not participate based on certificate forgery, based on this. But Tinubu has also come with some evidence to counter these claims that, I forfeited this money in the United States, but it was not a crime. They are going to argue that. So the judges are going to understand what the law says about that you were caught in a crime process and they took your money for you, you forfeited it. It's a civil forfeiture. forfeited the money because you were guilty of the crime. And now you are saying that it's not a crime. So that should be adjourned between the legal teams, and the judges will take decisions about that. So apart from that, the case of certificate forgery, that Tinubu is female in the certificate, not one, not two, and different date of birth, different names, all those controversies will be handled by court. Did he forge the certificate? Or is there any problem that someone else went to the school that was bearing female? These are the things that will be deliberated in the court, and the judges will also take decisions. So all these grounds of disqualification, talking about also the 25% votes that people perceive to be mandatory, that you must have it in Abuja before you could be declared the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So all these grounds are for disqualification. Then these are different from the issues of Tinubu did not score the majority of legal votes. So this is what you should know, and many other things, however, about this court proceedings update. Thank you so much for having time. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification button, share my videos to support me, and above all, always come by for daily updates. Thank you.